Okay, what have we here? We are not getting the strongest kingdoms, I don't think. This screams big money to me. Lucky coin, very money-ish. Horde, pretty money-ish. There's no draw, no villages aside from Lich. Well, I guess, how do you get favors for cabin, not cabin boy, for band of nomads? Student, generate some favors off a student that can be used for actions. Doesn't sound great. Yeah, I think this has got to be big money, no question. Um, so which cards matter? Probably Sentinel is still worth playing. Yeah, Sentinel has to be worth playing with. Maybe I'm overstating it. I'm actually gonna walk back what I said and reconsider that. Chariot Race exists, and I mean, there's some scenario like imagine if you didn't thin and played big money. I think that deck could get wrecked by like some quartermasters into a stack of chariot races, and then you top deck a copper and they score like 8 points in a turn just off the chariot races alone. That would be pretty scary. And then they play like a chariot race grand market stack or something. That's a deck. Um, so I think for sure I want a thin, which means I think I also want a sentinel. Maybe also a student. Don't know if I need both of those. That might be excessive. Uh, so then I think the question is more along the lines of play the Sentinel, get kind of thin, pump the deck full of silvers, and then golds with Horde. Chariot races aren't going to win very often as long as everything in your deck costs 3 or more, because they'll reveal each other a bunch, and then you buy provinces quickly. That's one deck. The other deck is get thin, play chariot races and win markets. You'll get some extra points off of the chariot races. Uh, that deck, really better long term, gets more points off of chariots. You definitely get a double or triple province. But that deck is probably playing Lucky Coin less often rather than more often. Big Money deck, I think, gets off the ground pretty fast here. I don't know. Maybe it'll depend on the opening. Xyrix played the Lucky Coin because he had to hit 3. I don't have to. Um, Really, I want to play it at least once or twice, even if I do plan on building the Grand Market stack deck. I'm pretty sure this is Scheme and Sentinel in some order. And then turn 2, I trigger Band of Nomads to shuffle the deck that has the Scheme and the Sentinel in it. And then as long as I don't draw one off the top, I get to play Sentinel and re-top deck it, and that sounds beautiful. That makes me want to not play the Lucky Coin yet, right? Because I don't want to put a silver into that deck. Yeah, I'm not going to take a silver yet. Final answer. Don't know if that means I'm not playing big money. I just think, oh, what have you done? Oh, he spent his favorite turn 1 to trigger this shuffle, and that paid off pretty dang well. He drew the silver off the top of the deck. Um, I guess the good news for me is this means presumably he's got a Sentinel in hand with a bunch of estates, so his Sentinel's not going to have the best of all targets. But I think I'm already behind. That worked out pretty nicely. He'll play Sentinel here. He'll trash some cards. He'll top deck a Quartermaster, get that in play. Let's see if my opening plan can pay off equally well. That's a fine draw. Yeah, so this is the intended goal of my opening. Spin the favor to guarantee Sentinel on top for turn 3, along with a scheme, which means I get to play it again turn 4. And then we're going places from there. A second scheme or just a chariot race? I think I'll take one more scheme. I don't have a silver yet, but I'll rectify that this turn. I was really hoping to draw a scheme off the top. There's still a chance I find my Sentinel. Pretty pleased, draw the Sentinel. I'd love to draw the silver and the Sentinel, if you're feeling so inclined. What are the odds of that? 1 in 15? Oh, I heard the notification sound and just assumed it was my turn and clicked. No, I have a chariot race. The odds are higher than that. 1 in 10, I think, then, is my revised estimate. Don't trust my math. Yep, didn't quite get it. Okay. I do have a Sentinel on top. Uh, how badly do I want to play Quartermaster? Quartermaster seems like a nice card here. Would not mind putting some chariot races in the deck. I could just jump straight to Horde. Just a very aggressively big money-ish strategy. The downside of Quartermaster is if I add it now, it just butts heads with my Sentinel, which I plan on playing every turn for at least 2 more turns. I think that's a good case for taking Horde. Final answer. I'll scheme one scheme and a chariot race. All right, so I guess just based on that decision, we're playing the big money deck. That could be horribly wrong. We'll find out momentarily. I did not want to see a copper. No, no, I didn't want to see 2 coppers. 4 is not the happiest of all numbers. Pretty close to finishing off those coppers. Okay, xyrix has taken lurkers. I don't think I plan on contesting those at all. If I just happen to hit 2, I guess I would take a lurker over nothing, just to make his lurkers a little bit more awkward. Like they'll print him grand markets, but like not that quickly. And the lurkers are 2 additional stop cards in the deck, so like it is not trivial to add them both. They also lose you chariot races potentially. Uh, second horde, just a duchy already. Not ridiculous in a deck with horde. Uh, for quartermaster. I still have this one more copper that I'm looking at. Plus, I wouldn't mind trashing the lucky coin soon-ish. Even in this deck would be fine because it is going to be it's functionally like copper late in the game. I'm gonna take the duchy. Silver could be a better card on top. I'll play the scheme first because I think on average the other cards down there are definitely more expensive. Silver's not super likely to win any races. I wish I had the village effect to play Sentinel first and then play chariot races. But there's well, I wouldn't say there's no way to get a village effect here. It's just not easy. The way to get a village effect would be play student, trash some coppers, then trigger the Band of Nomads effect off of a quartermaster gain, and then you've got an extra start of turn action to work with. No! That's the one card you weren't supposed to see. It's the only copper left. Do I want to kill the lucky coin? We're still pretty early into the game. I think I'm going to say yes. I don't mind silvers in this deck, but I don't need silvers that badly in this deck. But like the supply of gold's coming in. Gold play a lot better with Chariot Race. Card itself is a copper. I think I'm just going to get rid of it. Feels a little bit silly in a big money deck, trashing Lucky Coin, but I'm still going to do it. Now, now Quartermaster's looking a little bit better to me. Could still be a second Horde. I still have that one copper left. Yep, I'm saying second Horde. I don't, I don't love my position. We'll see how long it takes Xerix to get the deck online. But I think he's fairly thin, has 3 grand markets already, and I haven't bought a province yet, which is not a good place to be if I'm trying to win before that deck comes online. If I were a betting man, I would bet on Xerix here. Not 100%, but this is not 8 money. Woe is me. That's not copper. Oh no, these draws ain't working out. They are not working out. Take a grand market, I suppose, is probably better than a duchy and a gold. Grand market, quartermaster, duchy, definitely not a third word. That's excessive. This is supposed to be a province. Uh, now it's just a Real awful 1-2 punch there. Bottom decking copper plus drawing duchy. Yeah, it's no good. I'll take a grand market. And here, what I got on top. Yeah, the problem is if I scheme the Sentinel, I'm going to draw the copper, and then it definitely is not going to hit. Does that mean I buy a Quartermaster then if I don't plan on playing the Sentinel? Is Quartermaster is Quartermaster a better card than Grand Market? Maybe. Probably not. I should definitely scheme a card though. From what I saw, oh, I also should have reordered this. I didn't think about it, but it just accidentally happened to be in the ideal order. If I reordered this correctly, I could have guaranteed my Horde was on top. The reason I was scheming a card was because I knew there's a 50% chance my copper was on top, which would have been a total disaster with Chariot Race. But if I were thinking about it carefully, um, I could have top decked exactly which card of these I wanted rather than just one of the five. So I should definitely play Chariot Race first, then play two schemes to draw the copper, then play the second Chariot Race. But yeah, this has not worked out. Has not worked out. It's the last card. Last card is not a gold. I saw my gold already. There we go. This is looking more like it. All right, Province Duchy, I think. Scheme a Grand Market and scheme a scheme. So I can retop deck the Grand Market. Sounds pretty good. Uh, well, that was the worst card to have on bottom there. We'll see if it matters. The four cards on top are Sentinel, Gold, Horde, Duchy. Obviously, if xyrix ends up playing any chariot races, I'd much rather have the expensive things on top. Yeah. Well, the Grand Market would have beaten the Duchy as well, but I had a 50% chance of blocking that, and a 50% chance of blocking that one. I looked at my standings. I didn't consider uh, what are the implications for xyrix. So xyrix needs 4 wins to avoid demotion, or at least 4 wins. I don't know what the tiebreaker is between him, Fearful, and Yuri Kamame. He's 3.5 versus Fearful, 2 versus Yuri Kamame. They tied each other. So I think Xerix needs 4.5 actually to avoid demotion because it sounds like he loses the tiebreaker. This dang copper. This is less of a bad draw. I still hit 8, which is the important number here. All I wanted was to trash the copper. I'll just observe the top of my deck. Actually, no, this matters. This is not purely for sightseeing purposes. I just noted that I can order these cards in a way that guarantees an optimal top deck for the chariot race purposes. I'm going to top deck one card. So I want an expensive card on the bottom. Gold or Horde both work. I'm going to draw whichever one I don't. Bottom deck. And I'll take a province. I'll scheme the Grand Market. Fortunately, I don't have a chariot race to take advantage of the high cost top deck. So yeah, I don't think I'm dead yet, but his deck does more than mine does, for sure. Uh, and 5 provinces is enough time for him to take some duchies and come back. Or for me to mess up and just open up a really bad chariot race hit. I only have the one copper in my deck, but top deck a silver or something, he'll probably get 2 or 3 points off of that alone, at a minimum. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's he could have equalized in points here basically just by buying Province Duchy. I think my odds of winning are still fairly small, but we shall continue onwards just in case. Province, and I think estate is fine. I mean, obviously I wouldn't want to top deck the estate because chariot race, but it comes with a gold. Does the 1 point matter? Maybe I'd rather buy another scheme or another chariot race even. I'm not sure how often the 1 point matters. Pick a chariot race. Not sure of that. The grand market has actually paid dividends. I didn't consider how often I was going to be able to play it with the schemes. Oh yeah, quartermaster for states is a decent chunk of points. 18, I think, is a scary number here. He'll will he at 18? He doesn't actually have that many treasures. Province double duchy, I think, is what I'm really worried about. Province single duchy might be enough for him to win next turn. I haven't counted it. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead, dead. Even province single duchy looks like more than enough points. Yeah, I didn't even get to win and raise home. Really add an insult to injury there with that province top deck. Yeah, there was no world where I was hitting 16, I don't think. Well, I guess there was some conceivable world where I hit 16 off of phenomenal draws, but I did not get those phenomenal draws. Um, Nothing looks winning here. I think his 3 set-aside cards are all estates. Yeah. So he can't put a card into his hand with the quartermaster, not a useful card. I could do province estate and just pray that he duds badly and doesn't hit 8. Not a likely outcome, but possible. Uh, if I take double duchy, it's hard to see how I win the game, right? Because even if he whiffs, I just take. Well, if I'm praying that he misses province anyway, let's say I took double duchy now, I go up by 5 points. Then he misses province, buys a single duchy. Then I'm up by like 2 points. Then I buy province, and if he has a full turn next turn, he'll buy province duchy and still win. Yes, I think my best shot here is just praying that he has a dud. And I miss 8 anyway. Okay, yeah. Those draws were somewhat uncooperative. I can definitely believe that the Grand Market stack was a better strategy. Um, I think I don't remember exactly what it was, but something about my early draws pushed me into the early horde line. I mean, it was close even with some suboptimal draws. So I'm not saying it was definitely wrong, but it could have been wrong.